Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Thank you. Usually it takes a bit for some people to join, so we're gonna wait a bit.
Okay, awesome.
Hi, Tita, how are you?
Hi, good. How are you? We've never met.
I know. So where are you living? Where are you doing real estate?
So I live in Lakewood. I'm pretty much everywhere you can think of. But yeah, I'm here in Lakewood now.
You're a single agent, correct?
Well, my husband is also licensed, but he does it like part-time, kind of, sorta. He should be. So we're a husband-wife team, and my niece is also on my team, but she also works
Nice.
full-time. She's just like, whenever she has friends and, friends of friends who want to buy or sell, that's where she steps in, and that's where she kind of needs my guidance. But yeah.
Very cool. Now, before actually we'll get started, I'm thinking probably in 2 to 4 minutes, but do you guys have business plans written out?
Kind of, sort of. I went over it with Scott the end of last year, and we kind of sort of have a business plan. I haven't been executing it just because I've been super busy, but kind of, sort of. But I
Okay.
need to really, write everything down, actually like hone in on it.
Awesome. Because what we're going to be doing today too is I'm going to show you guys a few different business plans that I've written personally for myself and that other people have written that I coach, and how it translates into a calendar and activities. And then we're going to get into how you're tracking those numbers and the story it actually tells you.
Okay.
Okay. Real quick, just so you know, I don't want you to feel like I'm being rude if I hop off. I have a meeting at 1:30.
Okay,
just
no
heads
worries.
up.
Yeah.
Exciting.
Hello.
Everardo, how are you?
Well, pretty good, pretty good.
Nice,
Thank
nice.
you. How's everything?
Good. Everardo, since you coach with me, some of this stuff is going to be redundant. Because we're going to go over today.
It's okay.
Obviously, tracking
I need
numbers. You're so plugged in. I love it. Are you? Oh wait, you're not driving to work today, right? Wait, today's Tuesday. No. How was your family? Your friend that was over. Was it good? Oh, we got someone else connecting. Good. I think Everard is having technical difficulties. He was doing a 75 hard and was bummed because one of his friends was coming over from Mexico. I'm like, you can start it on Monday.
I'm back.
You're back.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm coming back to it. I think I'm gonna give it a break though. I mean, I actually thought about it, and like you said, it's a little bit too much with the kids and everything. It's a little bit too hard. But I'm doing not exactly 75, but I'm just trying to follow. Because like last night I got home like at 10:30 from the hospital, so it's like no, I'm not able to do my second workout at that time and then wake up next time at 4 o'clock in the morning. So sorry, but
I love it. Hi, Grace.
Hello.
Hi, Edgar. Grace, I haven't talked to you in so long. I hope all is well.
Yeah, just back working at home with the little one started school as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I guess we'll get started for now. I'm going to be sharing different screens, guys, so I'll have to be going back and forth. We are definitely going to talk about tracking your numbers and kind of the story it tells. But first and foremost, want to discuss with you guys the business plan, right? Let me start sharing a screen. So I know I asked a couple of you, do you have a business plan? And those that coach with me, I know like Edgar and Everardo already have theirs. But one of the things that I want to just really relay to you guys when it comes to systems and models, one of the things that's super important for you guys to understand is we all have personalities. We disseminate information differently, and we're just different. Some people write things down, right? Some people like Excel spreadsheets. Some people like Word documents. So when I show you different people's business plans and how I track my coaching clients' numbers and my own numbers, I want you to understand that this is just one way. It's super, super important for you guys to find a system that works well for you. On command, there's a lot of ways that you can track. This just for me and my coaching, my personal real estate business and my coaching business, it just works well for me. Okay. Hi, Michael, welcome. So one of the things when we talk about business planning is, and I talk about this, Edgar and I were just talking about this, is oftentimes we set these really, really, really big goals, and then we get overwhelmed because we're not chunking them down. So like if you want to sell 20 transactions, what really does that look like on your day-to-day? Because that's where I feel that oftentimes people get stuck. So I'm just gonna, let's see. So I'm gonna share with you, actually, I'm gonna share with you mine first. Now, just remember for me, guys, can you see my screen here where it says close 30 transactions? You cannot, okay, give me a minute. Can you see it now?
It's still loading. Oh, now we can.
Okay,
Yes.
so guys, just so you know, I'm a very bullet point person, so I just kind of need it in bullet points. I'm going to show you some Excel spreadsheets that you can use as well. So the way I broke down, so I have a real estate business, right? And then I have a coaching business. So I'm the listing agent on a real estate team, the Anderson Real Estate Group, and I am the productivity coach of the La Mirada office. And I also coach outside people, businesses, not just agents. So here's the way I broke it down. And I think that you guys have probably seen a 411, which is super detailed. It goes from the year to the month to the week. And then there's like a 135, a 133, a 145, all kind of show you a plethora of them so that you can get a feel for what you think works for you. But this is like literally the simplest of business plans, right? I know that if I close 30 transactions, when I take all my expenses out, that I will make 243,500. And this is how I have broken them down. 20 of them will be listings. And I've even broken down what I'm going to get from the team, from my sphere, my average sale, and my average commission. Because oftentimes I think that people say, I want to make $100,000 a year. I need to close 12 transactions. But everybody has different splits, different, different business expenses. Like Theta is working with a team, right? So she may have some expenses that maybe I don't because I'm not the rainmaker of my team. I choose to leverage that out. With buyers, I know that my average commission is going to be lower because on the buy side, typically it's 2.5%, sometimes even 2%. And my big why is, and this one's super simple because like I said, I'm bullet point, and I'm going to show you some other people's big whys, right? And then, so when you look at my business strategies, okay, so basically what I do, this is a 1-3-3. One business objective, which is what is my goal? 3 business strategies, okay, and then 3 activities for those business strategies. And so if you look here, I've got expireds, my Anderson leads, my Zillow buyers, and I'm time blocking 2 hours a day, 2 days a week for expireds, following up on my database and Zillow buyers an hour a day, 4 days a week, and sticking to my calendar. On my sphere, I've got quarterly touch points, active on social media. There's a formula I have, sticking to the formula. 3 people per month in person, FaceTime, or Zoom. And then for me, a big one is mindset. That's a critical one for me, okay? So then I'll take you to, can you see now that it says coaching business plan?
No.
Okay, give me a minute. You can see it now, right?
Yes.
Okay, so do you see how specific I get? 8 La Mirada coaching clients, 15 mentees, 5 outside coaching clients at all times, which will yield me that dollar amount. I even break it down to, I believe that if I have 8 coaching clients and they're closing at a 60% ratio, that will yield me this much. If I have the mentees and they're closing 1 a month, including my PC fee, my outside coaching clients, I command $1,000 a month, flat fee, that's it. And my why on this is to supplement my income to save 65 grand into my savings account. And then I've got my business strategies, right? Lead generation, client retention, education. Okay, this for me, again, I'm a very bullet point person. I'm gonna show you a couple others. Do you see, you probably don't. You don't see a new business plan come up, right?
No.
Okay, hold on.
Hmm.
It's like sharing all kinds of different screens. I gotta keep going back and forth. Okay, you see this business plan, right?
Yes.
So again, it's on a Word document, right? And this person just writes it out, right? This is my specific goal, 20 homes, 60% being listings, 40% being buyers, which is going to generate 120 grand. And look at the why. It's for myself to prove to myself that I can do it and have the life me, my daughters, and family deserves. Show what I preach to my daughters, that you can achieve anything as long as you focus and putting the work. Break my limiting beliefs in mind about success. Pay off all my debt. You see how there's a specific number in there? Student loan, also assist Jeannie, his daughter, financially so she can go to college and focus on her career. And you know, one thing that I love about, I asked Edgar before if I was able to share this with the group. One of the things on our coaching call that Edgar is going to do is he is going to record his why as well as his business plan, and he's going to listen to it every night. Okay. Now he has 4 strategies. So he has 1 goal, 4 strategies and actions along with it. And his lead generating strategies are calling expireds, working on his database, door knocking, and social media. Now, this is where I want you guys to understand where the specifics, this is just really about chunking it down, because then I'm going to show you a calendar and how you can see based on this business plan, if you look at the calendar, they should match. So he's calling new expireds Monday through Friday from 8 to 10. Monday through Friday, 2 to 4, it's old expireds from 1 to 2 years out. Mondays and Tuesdays, he's calling just listeds and just solds from 10 to noon. And Monday through Friday, scheduled time to follow up. So when I look at Edgar's business plan, because I'm you know, his coach, when I look at his business plan, I should be seeing on there the lead gen, you know, from 8 to 10, calling this, you know, and I'll show you. Give me a minute. I'm going to get back into. Guys, while I'm speaking, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to interrupt. Okay, I'm gonna. Because part of my coaching is my coaching clients have to send me their calendar as well as their numbers. So I can see here that his calendar is sticking to his business plan, correct?
Mhm.
And really, guys, that's what it is. It's chunking it down. Whatever you want to do, if you chunk it down to the lowest common denominator, that's where it's at. Gary Keller says success is simple. It's not easy. It's simple because if you just have a plan and you put it into a schedule and you execute and you stick to your schedule, you're going to be able to achieve what you want to achieve. Now, I'm going to show you. Give me 1 minute because I'm going to get into a different one just so that you can see. And any one of these guys, if you want to take a look at, or you want me to send you a blank copy, I'll be more than happy to. Give me 1 minute. I'm just pulling up an Excel spreadsheet of a 145. Okay. So for those of you that like Excel, this is my GPS. It's taken out of Ignite. You know, GPS is like a navigation system, right? You transfer your one thing for the year from your long-term goal sheet, then list 3 priorities to reach that destination. Drive yourself further by writing out 5 strategies to achieve each priority. And congratulations, you've just completed a business plan. I've got this on an Excel spreadsheet as well as on a Word document.
Can I get a copy of that, Susie? Afterwards?
Yeah, I want you to do me a favor. Actually, here, I can probably put this in the chat. Let me upload a file here. So far, does anybody have any questions?
Actually, I do. I just wanna not suggest, but well, one of the frustrations that I had with my planner, with my schedule, is that many times I didn't give time, like from one schedule, one appointment to another. So I was trying to kind of fill up all the gaps. So now what I'm doing is just start putting little gaps, especially for
Yes.
me, because especially you had to drive from one side to another side, or from one appointment to another. And I was kind of frustrating myself, stressing out myself. Like, oh my God, I have to be at this time, so I'm rushing into everything, and I think that's helping me also.
You know what? I'm so glad that you brought that up because that is crucial. You know, Everardo and I were talking about the book Atomic Habits. You know, I talked to you guys about that earlier. You know, it is one little habit at a time, but I do believe, again, and that book really hones in on it, is that we just want to do everything and we overload our schedule. Like I remember when, Everardo, you'll probably remember this, and Edgar, you might too, when I first taught Ignite, back when I first got to La Mirada, I remember that I was teaching you guys how to time block and I showed you my calendar. And there was a brand new agent that asked me, Susie, when do you eat lunch on Monday? And I started laughing because when I looked at my schedule, Edgar's shaking his head because he remembers. And literally from like 9 to 5, there was something to be done every day. I scheduled myself no breaks for lunch, no nothing. And you can't do that. You have to like, let me see. Okay, I just sent it in the chat, Theta.
I don't see it. Is it just me?
Okay, do you have my phone number?
I don't, but I can
Okay, just jot down my phone number, 626
Okay.
536 2537.
Okay.
And then go ahead and you could just send me a text message and I'll send it out to you.
Okay. And Susie, I'm so sorry. I have to hop off. My client's offer just got accepted. So I just,
No worries. Congratulations.
thank you. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. All right, guys. So I'm going to share with you. This is how there's two ways to track numbers. Does anybody have any questions on like the business plan and sticking to, and calendaring stuff? Okay. So this is what's called my agent metrics. So basically, I'll give you an example. Like Dennis, based on his business plan, has to do 150 contacts a week. Okay. His goal is to set 7 appointments a month and to close 1.67. I know that's an odd number, but if you take the 1.67, I think it was 1.67. Yeah, his goal is 20 closed deals. So basically, because I coach him, right, he has to send me his numbers on the weekly. So this is going to tell me, okay, like let's say he did, I don't know, 50 this week, right? 50 that week. Then we're going to have a conversation about, okay, let's look at your calendar. What worked? What didn't work? What distractions did you have? It could be mindset. It could be distractions. It could be that, you know, the schedule wasn't written in a manner that was effective. And so we go through those things, and those, I'm telling you what I'm going through with the coaching, with my coaching clients, so that if you don't have a coach, that these are things that you're going to want to be doing on your own, right? Looking like, hey, if I didn't hit that 150, you know, what's going on? What happened that week? Which is why calendaring is super important. And then, you know, it's how many contacts did he add in the CRM? He did 1 appointment. He didn't take any buyers or sellers, but at the end of the month, we'll be able to track. Give me 1 minute. I think someone might be trying to. Okay. So at the end of this month, we're going to have an idea. Let's say Dennis hits all his 600 contacts and he only set 1 appointment, or he set 5, or he set 8. Then we're going to look at the types of contacts, what type of lead generation activities he's doing, and then we're going to tweak that. But when you're able to see what you're doing on a weekly basis, this will really help you understand your business and understand if you're doing the job that's required. Okay. So like Edgar's goal is 100 contacts a week. He and I had a conversation. He did 60 contacts last week. We know exactly what happened. We know why he didn't hit his goal, and that's changing this week. And he's going to be accountable to the 100. He knows what he has to do. He set 1 appointment and he took a buyer. That was awesome. That doesn't happen often. But let's say Edgar set 6 appointments, right, for appointments. Let's say Edgar set 6 appointments and took no buyers or no sellers. Now I got to ask, do we have a skill set issue? Okay. And then we can talk about, okay, let's talk about the appointments, what happened, and then we can dissect the appointments and then go ahead and figure out for the next time what he can do better to close the deal. Okay. But when you guys have a business plan and then you put that business plan into a calendar, and now you're actually tracking the business that you're doing, you're going to start to see a great picture. Now I'm going to share one other tracker with you. Give me a minute. Hang on. Okay, so this tracker basically is when you open escrow, it's basically your business, what escrows you're open and closed. Okay. So we write the escrow open date, and I had just started coaching Dennis late last year. And so I track when he opened escrow, the address, the sales price, what commission percentage, because when Dennis and I started training, we talked about getting 6% on his listings and how he could get the 6%. So the 6% really boils down to 3.5 on the list side and 2.5 on the buy side. So this is telling me that he's doing a pretty dang good job at getting close to that 6%. When it closed and where it's coming from. Because if Dennis closes, when Dennis closes his 20 deals, right? We're going to be able to see where his business came from. If this is sphere, right? When he's doing his business plan next year, he's going to be like, man, I'm going to double down on that sphere. I'm still going to do the expireds. Maybe there's 10 expireds here. And then it's like, wow, we did a great job on closing expireds. So now what am I going to do? I'm going to double down on my expireds, or I'm going to have even a better strategy. Also too, when an escrow cancels, putting down why it canceled due to inspection, right? Let's say he had 4 canceled escrows this year that were due to inspection. What do you think our conversations are going to look like? Anyone?
If you're
Because
showing
that's what I'm
FHA
telling,
buyers,
huh?
if you're showing FHA buyers to houses that they don't qualify for.
Okay, that's one thing. One of the first things is there's a pattern, right? Okay, so there's 4 or 5 escrows that close due to inspection. So then the conversations we're having is, let's talk about what expectations you're setting with your buyers. When they're getting into escrow, are you explaining to them that in California, like I live in Belmont Shore, okay? Let's face it, there's not a great foundation over there in that area. Or if you're dealing with a 100-year-old house, are we not setting the right expectations to the buyers? Are we not explaining to them that, hey, just so you know, we're not buying a brand new car. It's kind of like a used car, right? Some things are going to be worn. The tires are going to be worn. The leather's not going to look brand new. There might be scuffs here or there. So so when you track your business, do you see how you can start seeing patterns of what's working, what's not working? And that's really it when it comes to tracking your business. So I'm gonna leave an open forum and have people ask me any questions they'd like. And I'm gonna write everyone, okay, I'm gonna put everyone's name down here. So I've got Lorena. Actually, what I'd like you guys to do, because remember, as I said in the beginning, everybody disseminates information differently. Like I know if on a disc profile, someone is a high C, they're very, very detail oriented. Excel spreadsheets work very well. And so that might work very well for you to write into your business plan. With Everardo and Edgar, I know when they wrote their business plans, they kind of wrote them out like I showed you Edgar's. They kind of just wrote them out more in like a paragraph format in bullet points. But that works for them. I have them printed out, you know, highlight your why. So you can send me a text message as to, you know, what blank samples you would like me to send you, and I'll be more than happy to do that. And I will share the agent metrics with you guys as well as the blank coaching client one. So I've got Lorena, I've got Grace, and I've got Michael. And any of you guys that need help, that you want to get on a one-on-one to do this, just let me know. I'll go ahead and help out. Okay, so Lorena, Grace, Michael. Whose iPhone? If you can either do it on the chat or let me know your name, that would be great so I can send you.
Might be me, Edgar.
Edgar. Okay, no, I've got Lorena, myself, I've got Edgar on iPhone, Everardo, Grace, Michael, and then I've got one other iPhone. They're not muted, or it doesn't look like. Okay, I'm gonna call everyone's name that's here: Lorena, Everardo, Grace, Michael, Edgar. If I didn't call your name, can you put on the chat your name so I can get you this information? Okay, and any questions, guys? Okay, I want you guys to take yourselves off mute and give me one aha that you've had from today. Lorena, I'm gonna start with you.
Wait, is it an aha with what we just talked about? Okay. I guess it would be I've never really understood the whole business plan aspect or how to do it or what you needed to do until you actually visually showed me one. For me, it's just kind of hard to know what a goal is for like a new agent, like something that I can actually obtain as a new agent. So I feel like that's like my aha. Like I really need to figure out what I want for that year and set my business plan.
Okay. Lorena, on our next one-on-one, we'll go through it.
Awesome. Great. Thank
Okay.
you.
Edgar.
For me, it's success is simple. I mean, we overcomplicate it, we overload it, and as long as we just focus in one thing and just do it well and do it do it in a daily basis, I guess we're just gonna create the success that we want. Just don't overthink it and just do it.
And I will tell you this, like I know Grace and Everardo have other jobs, like they have full-time jobs and their parents and their spouses, and that's difficult. It's hard. And that's really when you absolutely need to have like, you know, a really specific business plan and a calendar, right? Because you have to tally in time for your full-time job, for your children, you know, for your extracurricular activities with your family, because that's important. So your goal may not be, so I have a coaching client, Connie, whose goal is 7 for the year. She has a full-time job. Can she achieve 7? Absolutely. Her time is very limited. So we've made a specific game plan, you know, where it's so chunked down that it's easy. Like I remember one of my coaching calls, it was, oh my God, I'm so overwhelmed with this database and I have to enter all these tasks and tabs and everything. I'm like, okay, how many do you have in your database? 100. I'm like, oh, can you get into your CRM and do 5 people a day, 5 days a week? No, maybe 4. Okay, wonderful. You can actually do 20 people a week and you're done in 5 weeks. Oh, because it got chunked down to where it was manageable. That's where we lose focus, is we're not chunking things down to a point where it's manageable for us. Then we get stressed out, overwhelmed, and then we don't do it. I always tell you guys like that one story about exercising. Everyone, New Year's resolution says, I want to lose 10 pounds and I'm going to go to the gym 5 days a week, an hour a day. Well, if you don't go to the gym and you eat like crap, and all of a sudden you're going to try to diet 5-7 days a week and go to the gym 5 days a week, you're going to fail. I'm telling you that right now. But if you say, you know what, I'm going to try to make better choices 3 days a week and exercise for 10 minutes or 20 minutes. Then you start stacking those habits up and then you can add more and more. That's really the key. Okay. Everardo, give me an aha, even though you coach with me.
No, but it's like every single time I listen to you, and we go over the schedule, the calendar, we go over the planning. It's always a nag hat that I had to stay to it. I mean, I had to, and one of the things that I learned is also that we can change it. It can be flexible as well. I mean, like I said, I mean, sometimes we overstress ourselves, and like you said, 100 contacts, and you can split it and always break them down, stuff like that. So you can do little things little by little. So in a, you know, short
Everardo,
period.
that reminded me, can I share the beginning of our coaching call last week with the team? Remember when I felt that I just saw it, like you were not in a good place because of the
My
75
face.
hard? So
Sure.
I got on a coaching call with Everardo, and I noticed right off the bat, he just, normally he's so like, he's very present, and I didn't feel that he was present. And I'm like, Everardo, what's going on? His friend was coming into town. I don't know if you guys all know, but Everardo works in a hospital, and he's dealing with COVID. Like, his hours are ridiculous. It's 12, 13, 14 hours. And he's jumping on inner circles, coaching calls and things like that, sometimes while he's at work. So there's a lot, there's a lot that goes on with Everardo. And I'm like, dude, what's going on? You're not present. And he's like, I'm doing this 75 hard, and my friend's coming in town from Mexico. And I'm like, dude, you need to show yourself some grace. You're working a full-time job. You have these insane goals that I know you can reach. But at some point, remember, like I was telling you in Atomic Habits, it's the compound little habits, right? You just do little habits a day to get to your main goal. But what we all want to do is, hi, Matt, what we all want to do is we want to, okay, I'm going to do $500,000 this year, and this is how many closed transactions I'm going to do. But you've never closed one. Well, by 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks, you're going to be like, F this, I can't do it. And I looked at Everardo, and I'm like, you have to be honest with yourself. Are you doing too much? I don't know if you guys have seen some people, they do like Tony Robbins, and then they're going to like 5 and 6 and 7 seminars a week. And then they all of a sudden have no time to execute any of it.
Yeah.
Matt laughs because he's gone to seminars, but he executes. Let me tell you, he executes. But so when you're doing your business plan, when you are putting things in your calendar, you have to make sure that you're not overwhelming yourself. And the other thing is, give yourself breaks. I've coached a few clients that literally are doing expireds nonstop. And I'm talking on the weekly. How Everardo said, he realized that it's flexible. Business plans, they need to be flexible because your circumstances may change. Edgar needs to do 100 contacts a week. If the 100 contacts a week isn't working, that's not yielding him the 4 appointments or the 5 appointments that he needs, we got to change that contact number. We might have to change his strategy on how he is presenting himself. But that's what tracking numbers does, is it shows you a picture of what's working and what's not working. And then if you have a coach, and it doesn't have to be a coach, right? It could be someone that, Lorena, you can say, okay, I'm going to get with Edgar, and we're going to be accountability partners. It could be that, but you have to be able to see the picture of what you're doing on the daily. Otherwise, your business will never be predictable. My first year of real estate was in 2016. I went on 59 appointments and I closed 29 transactions. My average sale was $500,000 and my average commission was 3.25%. I still remember that. Do you feel that I can predict? When you look at my business plan, you saw how simple it was, but I absolutely can predict the exact number of dollars I'm going to make. by the amount of transactions, by the amount of coaching clients, because I have it dialed down to a science. And if you start now early in your career, you're going to have an amazing, scalable, and predictable business. Grace,
Right.
give me an aha. I don't know if you're at work.
Basically, I give props to people that can stick with their schedule. Me, I'm like with Everardo. Between my work, sometimes because of the pandemic, I'll work from home for 3 to 4 weeks, which is good because then I can focus more on my real estate. But then when I'm in the office, I have to like step back and change my schedule. When the kids are going to college or starting school again, I'm changing my schedule again. I can never have the same schedule every week, which is very difficult for me to kind of plan these. I have a why, I have a goal, but it's hard to kind of like break it down weekly or monthly to try and achieve that. So I've kind of just kind of go with the flow in a way. And when I have the time, I try to block out time where I can. So
Grace, one of the things that you can do is, that's the other thing, guys. People think that you have to have your schedule made out like for the whole month or something. Look, I have my set tasks that I have to do, like my weekly coaching, my group. I know my group coaching is every other Tuesday. I know my Anderson real estate team meeting is every Tuesday at 10. I know Inner Circles so I have those plugged in my calendar as recurring. But make no mistake, I'm plugging things in as I go. And then, like, let's say if I had lead gen from 11 to 1, but now Everardo has to switch a schedule, right, for a coaching, and I'm going to fit him into that slot, then I might move one of my hours of the lead gen to another. And that's where it's a living, breathing document. We ideally want to stick to the schedule as much as possible, but Everardo and Grace can't do that. If they have to only plan 1 week at a time. And that week, it's highly likely that a monkey wrench is going to get thrown in. Grace's kid could fall ill. Everardo could have to stay at the hospital for an additional 3 hours. Well, what do? You have to be flexible with your schedule, start to move things. And then if you find that the distractions are just not allowing you to stick to your numbers, then we have to make some tough decisions. Are we adjusting the goal? Do we figure out how to fix the distractions? Those things, guys, is the very reason why you should either have a mentor, a coach, an accountability partner, because I'll tell you, doing it on your own, it's very difficult. I actually have 2 coaches. I have one for my business and I have one for my mindset, like for my personal goals, like my fitness goals, my this or that, to the tune that my coach and I have Social Steps app and we're constantly competing. But find someone to get plugged in with to help you manage that. Because oftentimes when we're bouncing things off of someone else, that other person can see gaps. Look, I'm a coach. My coach sees gaps in what I'm doing and allows me to be able to tweak my stuff to make me more productive.
Can I add something to that, Susy?
Yeah.
Before I got into coaching with you, it used to be me, like I would set up my whole calendar, like set calendar for the month, for the year, and whatever. And every time that I fall back and don't follow it, I felt that like I wasn't true to myself. So now that I'm start coaching with you, I do it on a weekly basis. Like you said, things are gonna be said, and those you cannot move them around.
Yeah.
But just to mention, like for this week, I usually, as you told me, I will start cutting express at 8. I don't know if you saw on Monday, I started at 9 because I got something to do early in the morning.
Yes.
So I feel better. Like I don't have to follow it to the tip. And if I need to twiggle it a little bit, I mean, I'm fine with it.
Just think of it as a living, breathing document. You know, those Google Docs that you can add, take away things, and then it just stays like that. You kind of look, I'm not saying don't stick to your calendar. That's super important. but we are in real life situations. We've got, you've got families, you've got kids, you've got other things going on. When a distraction happens, and what I mean by a distraction, it could be, again, Everardo getting called into the office early. It could be Grace has to stay late 2 hours at her work, and then, husband has to go somewhere, and then the kid needs something, right? That's a lot of distractions. It's not a distraction, it's life, right? Then you have to get into that calendar and see, okay, I just lost this many hours. Is there a time where I can make it up? I'll give you a good example. Yesterday, I had 2 hours time blocked for one of my CRMs that I needed to add notes to. And I was at a golf course, and I made the choice that I had additional time today to do that. So I moved my calendar. Sometimes it's going to be a mental health day, right? I need to just get out in the sun, or go out and go to a spa, or go do something that's not work related. And instead of doing it today, I'm going to make up for it and do something else. Because it's not just about the business, guys. It's also about, are you giving yourself enough you time? That's one of the very reasons why I told Everardo, dude, your friend is coming from Mexico. Like, come on. You don't need to be putting that much pressure on yourself. Go and have a good time. You've earned it. You do so much, within 2 different jobs. Like, give yourself some grace. I believe when you start to learn that, you'll get a better balance. Elizabeth, Elizabeth showing property. And Matt, I went through the agent metrics and stuff a little earlier. So if you want to stay on after, I'll go through it with you and show it to you.
Okay, or also the Zoom call is recorded. So if you just send me the link, I can just watch through it so you don't have to.
Oh, that's right. I'll get Nadine to send you that because it's on the La Mirada one. Does anybody have any questions? Matt, I'm going to add you, and then I'm going to send you the blank agent metrics and stuff.
Anytime I can be on the phone with you, I'm there. I just, my other Zoom meeting went a little bit longer, so.
It happens, that happens. Thankfully, we record them, right?
Yeah.
So I'll send you I'll send every one of you that's on the call, those agent metrics. Please, 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 even if you don't coach with me, don't hesitate to reach out to me. If you need help putting a business plan together, if you need accountability or anything, I'm here. I'm just a phone call away. We could set up a time. I purposely leave time available every day of the week to help other clients, other agents. Okay. All right, guys, thanks for jumping on.
Thank you, Susie.
All righty, you guys
Bye,
have
Susy.
take care.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.